Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much. It is the 5th of July, 2026. Welcome to one and all. I'm going to try and speak as loud as I possibly can. I'm in the open space where I am, in case you may hear a bit of a competition of the noise behind me, but I will try and make sure that I'm as audible as I can. Siyabonga kakhulu this join this afternoon. This is after our most successful conference that we had last week. Lapha kade si-run khona the 10th Amandla Omnotho Grand Economic Conference, dubbed Ruranomics 1. And we are really excited about everything else that was discussed and achieved and really mapped out as a way forward for Ruranomics and rural economic development. And there is lots and lots of things that are currently happening as a result of that conference, and we are sure to make the next year's conference the biggest, where we're targeting to have 1,000 of our entrepreneurs coming through next year. So today, I think we're just gonna go straight into what this discussion is about as our Sunday session. As you all know, every Sunday we have these sessions, lapho sikhuluma khona nge-economy, entrepreneurship, and really giving you tips and guidance and advices on how to move and navigate this space of economy. Today, I've got two of my very important guests. The first one being Mrs. Mkhize, and the second one being the legendary Jabu Stone, who you all know, or rather many of you know, especially in the 1990s, he really became very popular with his salons, especially that focus on natural hair. You'll hear more from him today, because there's lots that's happening in our country and we need to get ourselves ready and really push towards ensuring that people who are interested in each of these sectors participate meaningfully, meaning they really participate with knowledge, with the necessary skill and passion, and they are able to be guided and assisted, because greatness comes only when you have got people around you who are coaching and enabling you to move forward. The likes of your Pele, your Maradona, your Chomosono, your Kezam Dawung, all these people that you have, and the latest of the heroes, your Lionel Messi, etc. Those are people who needed to be coached and to work as part of the team, so that their brilliance and greatness will come through. But you would not necessarily be that great if you are just working alone somewhere, busy kicking ball alone all by yourself. It all works out very well when you've got mentorship and you've got coaching and you've got people surrounding you, so that they can assist you with shaping the type of the person that you are, the greatness that is there lying within you. So it's for this reason that today I'm going to be introducing you to Pretty Mkhize. I loved her resume. I'm not going to read all of it because it's very long and illustrious. But Pretty is a born-again, Christian devoted wife and family-oriented woman passionate about education, leadership, and community development. I'm not going to expose her age as to when was she born, but she's in the 90s. That's Pretty. Professionally, she has built a strong career in the banking and technology sector and is currently serving as an IT specialist at the First National Bank head office in Sandton, where she is in her 12th year of service. Her experience in the corporate environment has strengthened her passion for innovation, technology, and excellence. Pretty is also a chairperson of Anti-Dropout Education and visionary behind Port Shepstone Institute of Technology, a groundbreaking institute that has become the first private college of its kind in Port Shepstone. Through her leadership and vision, this institute continues to create opportunities and empower young people through quality education and skills development. At the heart of it all, she's a passionate researcher and a long life learner who enjoys reading books and exploring new ideas, traveling and spending quality time with her children and family. I must say she is already studying towards her PhD as part of a quest really for being very great in the space that she works at. And today, obviously, she's going to be guiding us on what are SETAs, their function, and in particular, assisting you to be part of, how to apply for the QCTO successfully and all of that. As you know that we are migrating into QCTO space from the SETA. Why is this important? SETAs have over 20 billion rand for you to assist with training people, and as you know what the mandate of SETAs are in the country. So Uprid is going to be taking you through this. We've had similar session before, but today's session is special because we are moving fast-paced in terms of trying to make sure that South Africans are skilled, and we are positioning these skills training institutions to make sure that they serve South African in the current context. And this is Pretty. I'm handing over to you, who's going to be taking you through all of what I've just mentioned. Pretty, thank you. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Mr. Xaba, and greetings to everyone online. Once again, thank you so much, everybody, for this opportunity. I promise you.
Sorry, Pretty. We always love to see people on camera. I don't know whether if you can show yourself and speak through as we're recording these sessions.
Oh, my word. Yo, Mr. Xaba, my line is very bad. I promise you. I wish you had told me in advance, Mr. Xaba. Will it be a problem if I don't show myself just today, or I can show myself a bit later?
Okay, fine, go ahead.
Background is not good. Also, my line is not so great. My bandwidth.
And Pretty is fine. You can go ahead, and please, people, those who are coming in, just mute yourself. And because if you don't mute, we kick you out. And once we've kicked you out, you can't come back until next week. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Xaba. Can I share my screen, please? I see when I'm trying to share, it says I have been disabled by the host. I think I need certain permissions from the host.
Okay, let me try and see if I can enable you to share your screen. Most tools for share. What's this? Look at the share. Okay, you can go ahead, Pretty. You can share.
Thank you so much. May I kindly ask that you let me know as soon as you can see my screen?
Yeah, we can see it. Go ahead. Just make it bigger.
Okay, let me just do this. Does this work? Is this fine? Is it readable?
That's okay.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Mr. Xaba and the audience. As Mr. Xaba has said, my name is Pretty Mkhize, and yeah, my resume was shared. There's something that I had not included, but I guess I can include. So, over and above everything that I'm doing that Mr. Xaba has mentioned, I also work for QCTO as a subject matter expert, assisting with the accreditation wing. So, what is QCTO? QCTO is a quality assurer. It's basically a department within Department of Higher Education. So as you can see here, can you guys see this wheel? These are different NQF levels. So you have height. As we all know that we have level 1, NQF level 1, all the way to NQF level 10 being the PhD. So from level 1 to level 4, you have Malusi, which we know it's the quality assurer that has the final certificate for the matriculants, which is the national senior certificates. And then you also have qualifications that are from level 1 all the way to level 8, as we can see these red lines. But here we are looking at the occupational qualifications or the trades. So QCTO is a department that reports directly to the Minister of Higher Education. It's basically a government entity that is just overseeing the different sectors, the different SETAs, specifically SETAs for the different sectors. The sector, we all know the sectors, you know, each and every occupation belongs to a specific sector. And then for each and every specific sector, you have a SETA. SETA is the body that is responsible for the training that is required by employees that are working in specific sectors. For example, as I'm working for the bank, my SETA is the bank SETA. Also, for people who are working for example, health and welfare sector, there is also HW SETA now that will be responsible for controlling or overseeing the quality assurance of the qualifications and the traits that are required as skills to perform certain tasks in those specific sectors. So QCTO has qualifications that ranges from NQF level 1 all the way to NQF level 8. Level 8 being the honors degree or the bachelor honors degree, postgraduate diplomas, and as we can see here, this red dot basically means these are QCTO qualifications. As I've said earlier, QCTO looks after or is responsible for the trades or the occupational qualifications. So what are occupational qualifications? Occupational qualifications are qualifications that you can study in different institutions, or let me call them accredited training providers. There's background noise, but I hope it's not disturbing my presentation. And
sorry, we have removed the person making the noise. Go ahead.
Yeah, so as you guys can see, this red dots, it's basically saying these are occupational qualifications, and the quality assurer or the entity that is responsible for the certifications or awarding qualifications is the QCTO. So we've got qualifications that are called occupational qualifications. Occupational qualifications, as I was just saying now, those are qualifications that you can do with the accredited training providers. Those accredited training providers must be accredited by QCTO. Previously, we used to have qualifications that were accredited by SETAs. So currently, those are now falling under historical qualifications. So now we have QCTO that is taking over the accreditation capability of the SETAs. You still have the SETAs responsible for the administration of mandatory grants, discretionary grants. I'll get to those. But the accreditation capability now sits with QCTO. So I also happen to consult with QCTO on part-time basis, or should I say contractual basis. So basically that is QCTO. And while I'm there, as I've said, you get qualifications that are in different NQF levels, but you cannot get an NQF level 9 with QCTO. So all the occupational qualifications or trades, they go all the way to NQF level 8, which is the honors degree, 9 masters, and then 10 being PhD. However, and then when you get here from level 5, which is the higher certificates, all the way to level 10, this black line, this black line is CHE. CHE is the quality assurer for the universities. You know, it's like Council of Higher Education. That's where you get the qualification that you can study at the university and finish and graduate without having to go and need to do the in-service training, you know, with different companies. So the in-service training with different companies, those are the ones that you find when you have done occupational qualifications. So before, when the SETAs were responsible for the accreditations, also when there were qualifications that were sitting directly with the SETAs, the learners were required to study with the training providers accredited by the SETAs. And then after that, the learners will be asked to go on their own and find companies to offer them in-service trainings. However, the institutions realized that there were learners who were taking up to 10 years, not graduating, because when students as individuals approach companies and ask, to do in-service training, companies were not allowing them. So the QCTO took over that accreditation wing or capability to say now they are rebranding the qualifications or modifying the qualification to say they are calling them occupational qualifications, which means as part of the training or the studying that the student will be doing with the institution, they will do the knowledge modules, they will do the practicals in the institutions, and then the institutions will then have to find companies where the learners will go and do the work experience modules. I hope that is clear. But basically, that's the difference with the occupational qualifications. The occupational qualifications also have modules that are called work experience modules that are part of the qualification that is offered in the institution. The difference is that the institution will then have to sign the MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, with the company to say, I will be sending my learners to come and do the work experience modules in your company. And then when the learner is done, then the institution will do the final facilitation, marking, getting assessors and then moderators, and then send the statement of results for the learners to QCTO, and then have the learners graduate within the recorded time without having to give their responsibility to the learners to go and find themselves companies where they will do in-service trainings. So if I can just do this quickly, can I just go to the QCTO website and then we can see the QCTO website. So this is the QCTO website. You just go to qcto.org.za. Basically, this is it. And then when you are here, you come here to occupational qualifications. And then these are the occupational qualifications. You can just come here, click full or parts registered qualifications. So currently, these are all the occupational qualifications that are available at QCTO. As I have said, now QCTO has taken over the accreditation capability from the SETAs, which means when you want to apply for the accreditation, now you do that via QCTO. And also to find the qualifications that are available from QCTO, this is where you go, as I've shown you, guys. Basically, these are all the qualifications that you have and so forth. If you check here, it says occupational certificates. And then if you check this side, you can actually come, for example, let's say we want to, let's just go up. I'm just looking for the newer ones. Let's say this baking qualification. You can come here and click this link. Let me just go up again. You go to the QCTO website, click on occupational qualifications, and then you click on the second block. There's overview, and then there's the second block, and then you come here. This is where we are. Then these are all the qualifications that you can apply for from QCTO. You get the qualification name, the SAQA ID. As you can see, SAQA ID simply means that these qualifications are SAQA registered. They are registered within the South African qualification framework these are basically recognized, nationally recognized qualifications in South Africa. So you get the qualification type. All of them will be occupational qualification because that's what QCTO offers. Then there's SAQA link, and then there's NQF level. As we saw, there's different levels for the qualification. For example, this one is level 5. That is a high certificate. Also, each qualification has a number of credits. Number of credits basically means the weight of the qualification. This is also very important because it determines the duration of the qualification. For example, 1 credit means you need 1 day for the learner to implement that qualification. If you've got 30 credit, that means it's a 1 month, 2 weeks qualification. So that's basically how you will determine the duration of the course. Then quality partners, as we have mentioned, with QCTO, we are looking at occupational qualifications. These are qualifications that allows you to do the work in different sectors. For example, this is SETA. This is a transport SETA. This is a transport SETA, which means once you have done this qualification, then you can go and work, under the transportation sector. Also, each and every qualification will have the SETA. For example, this one is a bank SETA one. That means that once you have done this qualification, the expectation is that the occupation that you will be doing will be falling under bank sector. Okay, sector as we know them, they all make up the entire GDP, which means this sector is contributing this amount to the overall economy. And then we also have attachments. Under attachments, you get a document that talks about assessment specifications, and then there's also a curriculum document. Curriculum document is basically a document that tells you everything, like the number of credits, also the duration. Sometimes the qualification is specified that it cannot be less than maybe 18 months based on the number of credits, so this is a very important document that one can check. And then there's also this link here, the SAQA link. If you click on the SAQA link, it takes you to the web page that is specific to that qualification. For example, this one is a bank customer service clerk. And then it will tell you how many credits, it will tell you the NQF level, and then it will tell you all the important information. For example, as I've mentioned, that all these occupational qualifications, they now have something that is called work experience modules. So these are the knowledge modules being theory modules. For example, this module, workplace fundamentals, is level 4, 3 credits, which means you need 3 days to complete this module. And the difference again with the occupational qualifications, as opposite to the previous historical SETA qualifications, the occupational qualification, you get one qualification, even if it's maybe let's say 300 credits. They will be looking at around 18 months. There will only be one exam. The students write only one paper, whereas with the previous qualifications, with the SETAs, you used to have modules that would have unit standard, which means a learner can do one module and get a certificate for that one module. But now with these QCTO qualifications, occupational qualification, the learner must do all the modules. And when the learner is done, the institution must file all the evidence for the learner, mark the learner, and produce something that is called statement of results. When the statement of results is ready, the learner is then registered for ESA. ESA exam is called external assessment. Basically means that it's the exam, but they're not hard, because it's usually, theory as well as practicals. But another thing that I want to just indicate here, as you can see, we have work experience modules. These are the modules that are part of the curriculum. However, the learner is supposed to be placed in a specific company where they will be doing these modules and have workplace mentors, and have logbooks that they will take to the workplace and mark that they've covered this section, this knowledge topic, and so forth. And then basically there's more information if you scroll down, like they just give you more information also, like the articulations, to say the horizontal articulations. Once the learner has done the qualification, they can do this qualification, or also they can do this qualification, basically different qualifications that they can do as part of their growth. So let me just go back to, basically, I think I've shared, the different occupational qualification. And then you also have something that is called skills programs. Skills programs are the short courses that you find in QCTO. Before, as I've said previously, with the SETAs, you used to have one full qualification that will have unit standard. Unit standard were also independently modules. For example, the learner was allowed to just say, in this full qualification, I just want to study this module, and they will do that one module. Now with QCTO, it's different. The individual, the short courses, qualifications on their own. As you can see, they are now called skills program. These are the short courses that you get. For example, this one, the advanced end user computing, it's NQF level 5. It's basically a computer course, which is advanced. And then it's 20 credits, which means it's going to be 4 weeks because 1 credit, 1 day. So you get a lot like your first aid, your basic end user computing, that are popular, that everybody wants. And also the assessments here is different. The nice thing about these short courses is that the assessments are internal. So they are called FESA. The full qualifications one, they have the ESA, the external examination, where you will get the external examiners sent by QCTO. However, with the short courses, as an institution, you are allowed to examine. It's not even a matter of being allowed. It's a standard. It's the correct way. So the institutions do their own internal assessments. But once they've done it's like they say the institution must set a paper, then they send it to QCTO. QCTO must approve the paper. Then your learners will come and learn from your institution, and then you mark them. And then you, as an institution, you judge that no, these students are competent. And then you send the email with them. FESA now a result to say these students are competent, and then QCTO will then create the certificates. They've got beautiful certificates for short courses, also for full qualification. The difference with the previous SETA qualifications that the institutions were making their own certificates, and they would say for all the uni standard, they must last maximum 2 years. For example, you get people who do first aid and then they'll be like, our certificate is expired. Now, with these first aids that are falling under uni standard, skills program, they no longer expire, and the certificates are issued by QCTO. All the institution does is to send the results of the learner to QCTO. Then QCTO creates those beautiful certificates, and they do not expire. All right. So I've spoken about these 2 things, and then the accreditation process. The accreditation is online. I can just show you a bit. So basically, to apply for accreditation, you come here online. So you go to services, and then you go to for QCTO skills development providers accreditation process. You come here. It's quite a lengthy process, like 17 pages form. I won't go through it, but at least I showed you. It's under services, and then you go to it's under services, and then you go to under for employers. Basically, it's here. Let me just scroll down since I've already opened this page. Here it is, accreditation services and forms. And let me just skills development qualifications. So this is the form that you'll have to fill when you're applying for so there's different accreditation. As we saw, we've got full qualifications. Those are the ones that includes the work experience modules. Those are full qualifications. They have a different accreditation process. There's also the accreditation for the short courses. So basically, this is a form. We won't go through it, but at least I showed you how to get to it. So it says 19 pages, but when you get to the end, they add 3 pages, basically a 13-page process. So basically, this is it, and you can't do this unless somebody showed you how to do it, because there are questions like you need to know what they are asking for and what is expected. And then let's say you get the accreditation now for the qualification. When your learners have studied in your institution, done knowledge modules, practical modules, and work experience modules, the learners then write the ESA exams, the external assessment, where that is the assessment that is outside your institution. There, you also need to apply for the accreditation for the assessment center. That is in the case where you have like a hall, because they have their own guidelines, like the desks can't be next to each other, they should be 1 meter apart, and there's like they need the safe and everything because they come day before. It's basically like your matric examinations, just that when you're a training provider, once you get the accreditation to offer this qualification, you can also get the accreditation to be an assessment center. The nice thing about being an assessment center is that you get institutions that do not have their accreditations to be assessment center. So when their learners are writing, they must choose a close by assessment center that is accredited and send their learners there. And they pay money, sometimes 2.5 per learner or 3.5 per learner. So that is a profit for your own institution. Imagine, let's say you are accredited as an assessment center, maybe your assessment center, you have a nice hall, takes around 50 learners. You calculate like 2.5 times 50 learners for doing nothing, basically offering your hall. But obviously you will be having your own accreditation, so it's like they will be paying for that. So basically that is another business opportunity that I advise people, if their facilities are big enough, get accreditation as the training provider and also get accreditation as the assessment center if you have like a whole kind of setup. Because if you don't, that means once your learners have studied with you, you must send them elsewhere and they must go and pay so much money there. And there's logistics involved. Let's say maybe it's a distance, you must organize a bus and everything, and yeah, basically that is it. And then there's funding opportunities within the training space. As Mr. Xaba was saying, there are billions of money that each and every year is available for training providers to apply for funding to do specifically training. So what happened is each and every company in each and every sector, as we said, that QCTO is a quality assurer that is responsible for the accreditation wing of the different occupational qualification for different sectors. Each and every sector, let's say I own a bank, I have an FSP license. My company must also be registered with SARS to get a skills levy number. So whenever I'm paying my tax, there's a portion of the tax that goes to skills development through my skills levy number. Each and every company must have a skills levy number to say the portion of your tax that you pay some of it must go to the skills development. You can claim that money back each and every year if you're a company, but they don't give you money as money. What then happens is that you get something that is called mandatory grants, which means, let's say I have a bank, have an FSP license, and then let's say there are window periods where you get that. For example, Bank SETA has opened, the window period is open, mandatory grants applications are open. You must apply to say, I want to upskill my staff, or you can just say, no, I just want to upskill unemployed youth in my area, and then you apply and they will require your skills levy number. That is in the case of a company that is paying skills levy. And you don't need to be a training provider in that case. You can the fact that you are paying a skills levy, you have a right. In fact, you are supposed to claim that money back, but that money comes back in a form of training. So they say appoint a training provider. This will do the training. It's either for your employees or you choose unemployed youth or disabled individuals, or those groups that were previously discriminated, kind of like. You can even say, no, I just want to upskill blacks, unemployed people, or basically, you get my point. And then there's also the discretionary grants. Discretionary grants, now this one is for the training providers. If you have accreditation, you get a year where the window period is open. Let's say I have an accreditation with WSETA or MICTCs. WSETA is the one for your first aid, the health and safety, and so forth. And then the MICTCs is the one like your short course, your end user and stuff. I'm referring to those two because those two are popular. Like MICTCs, if there's anyone who's looking for accreditation, I will say try by all means to get MICTCs, those end user, the short courses, because I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be all over now, but as we know, we are in fourth industrial revolution, transitioning to fifth industrial revolution, which means that each and every job now requires that somebody must have at least a basic computer literacy skill. So these are the skills that are very important in our communities. Also, like us from rural areas, the schools don't offer these computer literacy qualifications. That is because you find that maybe the school had a computer lab that the government had built, but following year the government did not come back to update the infrastructure. The softwares were outdated, and the schools will be like, and then the schools were like, no, we are discontinuing offering the computer course in schools. So there's also a very good market where you offer short courses in Johannesburg. There are companies who are also working with the school where you get training providers offering short courses to learners, because parents want their children to have these computer literacy certificates. So when you have this basic end user qualification, which is like a 2 weeks course, there's a market for it for people who are already working, who are looking for these certificates, but there's also learners who are going to schools that does not have a computer lab or ICT infrastructure to offer these computer literacy certificates. And also a lot of initiative that talks about training. Most of them, they target people with this accreditation, the end user computing, but there's different ones. So it's all about the one that you have interest in. So let's say you have the end user skills programs. Each and every year, MICT SETA, just like all the other SETA, will have a time where they say discretionary grants are open. Discretionary grants means it's the grants at the discretion of the SETAs. Basically, it says accredited training providers, please apply for funding. We have a lot of money. We just need accredited training provider to apply for this funding. We will give you the funding because you're accredited. All you will do, you will just find people that you will upskill. So for example, if the qualification is NQF level 5, that means a learner must have at least level 4 to do it. You can't do a qualification that is NQF level 4 when you left school maybe in grade 4. You need to meet the minimum requirements. But basically, that is it. Discretionary grants, those are the funds that are made available by the SETAs each and every year for the accredited training providers to apply for, to say, like cash injections, where you will get a lot of money from the SETAs, and all you do, you fund the learners who will come and study from your institution without paying, but the SETA will, the MICT SETA or the specific SETA that you have qualifications for will be giving you money. Then mandatory grants, that is where companies that are paying tax, that are also registered for skills levy, say, I want to claim my skills levy money back, but I will be doing training with that money. So the mandatory grants works like that. With mandatory grants, you must have a skills levy number. For example, from this session, if you know your friend, maybe somebody who owns a big construction company, sure, that person has a skills levy number. You can actually approach that person and say, hey, every year I want to apply for your company to, because most of these companies, they don't claim this money back, and whether you claim it or not, it's like you lose it if you don't claim it. So you can actually approach the big companies and find out, are you doing your workplace WPS, all those things. It's called workplace skills plans. So basically, you approach the big companies and say, I want to look after your training capability. You give me no money. All you will do, you give me your skills levy number. So then you will just go and apply on behalf of that company for the mandatory grants. And then I've already spoken about this one. So SETAs used to be responsible for the accreditation capability. It's now sitting with the QCTO. Also, the qualifications now with QCTO have been revamped. They are more aligned to the skills demand that are in the industry. So with QCTO, you get latest qualifications. Also, that are aligned to the current skills market or the job market. And yeah, I'm actually done. Last page. If you need my assistance, let's say you would like to apply for accreditation, you have passion for training, and you do have a facility, because the most important part, if you want to apply for the accreditation, you definitely need to have a facility, like a training institution, even if it's like one class and the reception and or 2 classes basically, but it must go through different stages. Basically, I will say the accreditation takes between 3 months to 6 months. 6 months is where it took long, But within 3 months, you can get your accreditation, and there's so many opportunities. As we know, there aren't a lot of accredited training providers, and it's not an industry that has gatekeepers. No, it's not the case. I just think information is not available. When it comes to accreditation, you get in Johannesburg, people charge you like 30,000 for accreditation. So if you need my assistance, I can assist you. You can get your accreditation. You won't even spend 10,000 rand, but there is work involved. So yeah, basically there is a little bit of effort on my side or my team, but we do assist. You can take my details if you are interested. Also, when you have accreditation, we can guide you in terms of implementation, like how to implement, how to make sure you have learners, how to make sure that they are enrolled, or basically the right word is enrolled. Once they have studied with you, what you need to check for, and once they have studied in your institution, how do you make sure now they are registered for the exams? If they're doing short courses, we show you how to complete the statement of results and send it to QCTO in order to make sure that the learners get their certificates. Basically, that is it. Thank you so much, everybody. That's all from my side. Mr. Clever?
Okay. Well, thank you so very much, Mrs. Mkhize. I see people are clapping hands. That means you really did very, very well. And I must appreciate you. And again, I must say, we'll give just a quick time. Thank you for those good hands. Appreciate it. We'll give people just some few minutes to ask you some questions. I must say, this lady that has been presenting here, she is, I nearly say damn good, but she's very good. And you can be assured of her great services. As you had, and sometimes you've had people charging real and arm and a leg, but I'm glad that she just gave you a preview on how she assists, because this for us is very important. We are going to run master classes on education institutions, on how to create education institutions, because we want entrepreneurs here who want to create their own universities to come out, their own training colleges to come out, their own institutions that are going to address skills in South Africa to come out. Remember last time we had the former CEO of First Rand, Ubabu Sizwe Ngasana, no Mr. Nhlanhla Khambule, addressing you on that particular masterclass. We're going to continue with that because we want you to flood the education sector in South Africa. Create your own institutions, those with passion in doing so. Let me take just 2-3 questions before we move into our speaker. Ngobile Vilagazi, anybody else who wants to come, please, Mrs. Mkhize, just make sure that you write down those questions because we're going to take an omnibus of them. So Ngobile, you are there, and anybody else who wants to ask a question, Ngela futhi usinikeze your email address. Others would like to have your email address. Anybody else who wants to ask a question? Going. Gone. Okay, Ngobile.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. A quick one from my side. I'm in the energy space, mostly in solar installations. So I think my interest in this one is to find out what's okay. As a person who's running a business, it's mostly a skills impartation that I'm interested in. So it means that I'm not necessarily looking at registering an institution. So what I had previously done, I had made an application to the W&RSETA, but obviously with the phasing out, I think of the accreditations there, if I'm correct, I then deferred that application, looking at the fact that we are now on QCTO. So I think maybe my interest is just to say, please just do avail yourself in taking us as small, especially the small businesses, through the process of how to apply, because you'd find you go in on the system, there's a whole lot of modules. You end up just selecting the ones that are resonating with you, but you don't necessarily know what is in there and if it will really speak to what you are trying to achieve in terms of imparting skills to the young people. So yeah, I think that's basically where my interest is, to say just watch your emails. We'll be reaching out for guidance on that one. Thank you so much.
Mrs.
Thank you,
Mkhize?
Ngobile. Thank you, Ngobile. No, definitely I will be expecting the email, Sisi. Very glad. We'll be very glad to assist.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Let's take just one more question. I think on our chat box says, what is the relationship between QCTO and Department of Higher Education? For level 7 qualifications, how does DHET get involved? From Jabulani Zikan.
Okay, so level 7 is level 7 is basically a degree. So QCTO reports directly to Department of Higher Education. QCTO and CHE, they report directly to Department of Higher Education. So I don't know if I answered that one correctly or did I miss something? The difference is that Department of Higher Education, they don't offer accreditations. What they do, once you are accredited, whether by QCTO, if you're offering trades or occupational qualifications, or let's say you have accreditation with CHE, let's say you're offering like your university qualifications as we know them, that does not require like the in-service training and stuff. Once you have accreditation as the training provider, you must then register with Department of Higher Education. As you usually hear that these are the institutions that are registered with Department of Higher Education, but you will never hear anything that says accredited by Department of Higher Education. No. So Department of Higher Education is that you have registered your institute. They actually just charge 500 Rand to just say, I'm accredited by QCTO or CHE. Now I want to register so that you know me. And there's also a bit of responsibilities then once you are accredited, once you are registered with Department of Higher Education. For example, as we know, Department of Higher Education can actually shut down institutions. I don't want to mention any, but for example, once you're registered with them, they have their own compliance. Like you must show them your audits, like how you're spending money, all those things. And there is also some benefits in terms of money as well that you can apply for, something that is different from the discretionary grants or mandatory grants, but they also have their own benefits. However, they also have specific compliance that you need to adhere to. One of them is like showing your funds, like you can't spend anyhow. They audit you as well. Like if you're not doing well, they shut down your institution. That is basically the relationship that is there. Once you're accredited by QCTO, you must register with Department of Higher Education, and then you'll have responsibilities. You have to account to them in order to remain in their list. It's like you become an allied training provider once you are registered with Department of Higher Education. It means your books are clear, because once they find an issue, they shut you down. You lose your accreditation.
I think we'll be covering much of that, Pretty, during our master classes going forward. But I'm very happy that you've been able to give that outline, high-level presentation on what and how can people be able to accredit. So please, we are unfortunately out of time. We've got to move to our last speaker, who's been really waiting on the wings for a while. You've got Pretty's number and you've got Pretty's email address. Pretty, just put your email address there. And please, I hope you can stay with us during this next speaker, because this talks to you as well. And so it's about training and ensuring that people are able to advance their entrepreneurship, objectives. So thanks so much, Pretty. Let's move to our next speaker. Colleagues, today we're going to be until 1:30. Just bear with us, because these are very important sessions. We can't just gloss over them and rush them through. They are important. Jabu Stone. This is Umondisa. This is, by the way, his stage name, if you want to know. Jabu Stone natural hair brand promotes natural hair care and pride in natural African looks to African people worldwide. It's through this positive promotion of African heritage and identity that Jabu Stone, the brand, has successfully created an entire industry around the natural approach to African hair. Jabu Stone comprises an authentic range of hair care products that combine and celebrate nature's finest ingredients to provide ideal nourishment and care for natural hair. Alongside this range of entirely natural hair care products, Jabu Stone has also created numerous opportunities for up-and-coming entrepreneurs and salon owners to embrace and offer natural African styles. With its continued success, the Jabu Stone brand aims to promote the Afrocentric look worldwide, combining the natural, honest nature of the brand with international saloon availability and mass product distribution. Jabu Stone hopes to inspire people to be themselves, to be proud of their heritage, and to look after their hair naturally. This brother is known in South Africa, is a brand. He is at the same league as Abo Hem and Mashaba. They are actually friends. They work together. They've been really pushing this industry for many years in our country. And I was so happy to reconnect or to connect with him. He was supposed to be part of our conference, but he got busy with other things. And Upra Jabu is truly a legend in this space. And we had some serious discussions with him recently, wherein I said, Jabu, we need to get involved widely and intentionally in this particular industry because of the changes that are happening in our country. And the fact that we see that our people are taking over saloons, they've been running them, albeit at a small number and decreasing over time due to the sector having been really opened to many people who have been doing very well in it, especially those who come from outside South Africa. But what we see now is an example nje of omunye umfowethu usisi kade ngitshele abantu bakithi sebeona ama-salon manje, but abanye uthi uyangena usuyenza inwele usebhizi ucofana nefoni yakhe akunakele ngisho ukunaka. And then I said, no, we've got to do something about this, improve the quality, improve the customer service, get the legends involved in ensuring that we get our people trained properly in this space, saloons. And I don't want to steal the limelight and the thunder. Let me hand over to you, Mondesa, to take us through. What do you have for us? Over to you. Brother Jabu, I'm not sure if I can hear you or other people can hear you, but I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
And again, I'm not sure if you're able to show us you or like our previous speaker, you are not ready. Yeah. We can see you, Mondesa, but we can't hear you.
Good evening, everybody. Can you see me now? Can you hear me?
I can see you and hear you. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much for this opportunity. But I'll take the picture out again because I've just rushed somewhere. Yes, my background. I think I just want to give people a little bit of my background. You know, I introduced the natural hair space in the market because of what we know as those chemically treated hair, your relaxers and everything, of which I was not too much in favor. I introduced that space, of which that was not anywhere in the colleges, never taught. It was nowhere because we were more into the perms and the relaxers. So it was quite difficult to penetrate that space because I had to do continuous training, you know, but it did help in a way because I did train, I did go around, I started the salons and I would invite people, give training as our previous speaker did mention, that training is key. And most of our salons, the training is not there. Because, I've picked up that most of the people that run their salons effectively are those who are from TVET colleges, those who are trained. And I think it's for that reason, as you've mentioned, Babu Tlaba, that the customer care is key when a client comes into the salon. So those are challenges. When I got into the industry, those are the things that I kind of highlighted within my salons. Because I wanted to introduce the natural hair, and most of the salons didn't have those hairstyles in their salon. They didn't know how to do amalocks, which is popularly known as dreadlocks. They didn't know how to do that. So when I opened the salons, the purpose of opening those salons was to endorse the usage of the product. Because once your product is used by the stylist, it's better because the stylist will talk about the product to the client. Because remember, the stylist spends about an hour to 2 with the client. So to me, to amplify that usage, I had to have my own salons. I have to train them how to maintain natural hair, but also the customer care, the marketing, and all those things. And then there's a time whereby we had about 18 salons around the country. But now when my staff started to open their own salons, then I moved away from that space because my primary business is product manufacturing. Now the third thing was, most of them had 2-3 salons, but eventually they closed them down, ended up renting a chair. So it worried me so much. I got so concerned, what is going on? Because I remember even I had a salon at Durban, that is, I gave, to my former employee, Lapa Emachi's Passage, between Smith and West Street. And that salon didn't back. The lady ran the salon after that across, on the other side, opposite. Then she started renting a chair from Umdogfika. And I couldn't understand. And that has been happening everywhere. So that's when I realized our kids, as our previous speaker mentioned, there is internship, learnership. Those kids must be taken from the TVET college, to an existing salon and be taught. But that salon doesn't have anybody who is trained professionally. How are you going to mentor that young kid who's from a college? So those are the challenges that we are having in our industry. So it's a big challenge, So hence I felt that we need to go back to the drawing board, because most of our salons, the stylists, they are self-taught. They've got 5 years up to 10 years doing hair. Now, the only thing that I felt needs to be done is to upskill them, give them, as our previous speaker mentioned, that upskilling the training, train them a little bit, because they've got an understanding of how to do hair, but just give them a little bit of the marketing, give them the history of the hair, all those key things that to understand. So those are the things that we feel. And for example, now we have a challenge because most of the salons now closing down, and Bayang Fonela, most of them, Jabu, can you please reopen the salons, and then we want work. And those people I worked with them more than 20, 25 years ago. How am I going to do that? Because they are the ones who must open their salon. They are the ones that we must teach them, show them, how to run their salons. As we are saying, Babkaba, you go to a salon and then you find somebody who is in a phone, or doesn't even greet you. And then after sometimes can't you are there to bring business. So those are the things that we need to train our stylists, of which is gonna be very helpful. The learnership. Hence, when I had a meeting with Babu Tlaba, I said, my goal is to reopen and kind of open up the franchise structures of the salons with systems in place whereby you advertise, get those who are qualified from TVET colleges, get those young people and give them because on MySpace naturally it's not done a lot in the TVET colleges, and then we'll give them a crash course to understand your locks, your crochet, your sister locks, and the different type of braids. And then you bring them on our salons, and they start working there. So we need that. And we kind of open those salons. We allow people, we invite abantu, they come and be part of the structure with us, But since my salons are more into natural space, but not only natural that is done at this. I mean, people, they still want their hair to be manageable, your perm, your relaxer. So you don't want to close that as well. You want to open that space because there are people specializing on that. So you need to create those structures of which, with the experience and I mean, I've been in the industry for so long, so I think I do have systems that I can assist those who want to know how to run their businesses. And also the other angle that I've seen is people renting a chair. I remember I was in Zimbabwe to introduce the product, and I saw there were like a huge salon with about 50 to 100 people were renting chairs with the same uniform and everything. So that's another thing, that you want those who want to be self-employed. They said, I don't want to work for somebody. I want to run my own salon. I want to be my own, run my business. So go there, rent a chair, pay 1,000 up to 5,000 a month. And then I know that I've got my own clients. You find people who want to do that. Or those who said we are willing to work for a salon. Then you work with them, your basic or your commission structure. So those are the kind of things that we are willing to assist, working now, because I mean, we are working on something with Wabutaba whereby we will create those systems whereby even if you will be able to run your salon, even you are not there yourself. So we want to introduce all those, so we know that even if you want to open a salon in Mafikeng, we are there to assist you. We've got cameras, we've got leadership, we've got your customer care, we've got people who are watching, make sure everything, and even your quality control, as soon as the style is complete, you go there, the camera will zoom around, takes it back to our quality control person, look at it and said, I'm not happy with this. And then immediately, before you notice the hairstyle is not okay, we're the ones who are going to send a message to you that, look, your next treatment is on us, because we saw the mistake, and then it's on us, and then we take care of that. So those are the things that I feel that we need to correct. As a client, you must be happy when you get to the salon. You must make, like, you go there, you know that you get your coffee, you got your tea, if the salon is clean, you got your Wi-Fi. It must be an environment that you feel comfortable and safe. So those are the things that I would like to introduce for all those who are really interested. And I like a previous speaker, Umama Ukulma, leadership and training. I've seen most of those successful salons, the people who run them professionally, the ones that went for leadership and those who were trained properly. So I will stop there and then maybe ask for questions.
Hello. Well, thank you so much, Jabu. This was very nice, short and sweet. Colleagues, it's all about ensuring that we train people and we get them to run their businesses ever so seriously and really act as business people. Whenever we see a challenge, we do not just say this is and point a finger, but we plug in. That's what entrepreneurship is about, because it's about offering a solution. And Jabu, with his over 30 years of experience, I mean, you couldn't ask for any better mentor and somebody to train you and make sure that ungena kulesi space urana as a business. Uma ungabona imali abayenzayo. Jabu, just maybe briefly, on average, how much do the saloon owners make? I know it's a broad question, but just on an average, a saloon, as it were.
You see, if the salon is run professionally, you are looking at least, I'll be like a minimum of 200K, and those who are successful, they go up to 700K a month. Professional run salon.
That's it. So I just wanted that highlight, because it's for us to know that we're talking money here. The hair that we cut and the threads that we make and everything else that is done on our head is money. And people have identified an opportunity in that space and they're exploiting it. So now it's very important for us to understand that run this as a business. And imagine coming there, welcome. There are businesses and salons like that. I think there's one that recently opened in Pangeni, which was opened by Umuntu Omnyama, one that really offers top-notch service. It doesn't, quality doesn't have to be expensive, but if you just offer top-notch service, that's where you start attracting a band who wants to come and use your services. Let me allow for other questions and comments and anything else in between for those that would like to engage Jabu or my other speaker, Mrs. Mkhize. Here it is your floor. You can raise the hand, let us engage. As well, of course, my colleagues, I'm happy that you are answering some of the questions with chat box. I think people were saying share the link, and thanks Sithole for sharing the link. Here, QCTO, and the master, your email is noted. And I think others were questions. And indeed, Jabulani says, real damn good, Mrs. Gwabe. You know your stuff very well. And I understand very useful information, Siyabonga, to both the presenters and Tabata. Thank you so much. Lizzie says, I'm interested in agriculture. Where can I get the modules? And so, Lizzie, I'm sure you can contact Mrs. Mkhize and Jabulani Zikali. Yes, level says 7 is a degree. I'll contact you directly. And Zandile, I'm accredited with Accreditation. Currently, I need guidance for QCTO accreditation. I'll be in touch. Thank you so much, Zandile. And how do you qualify for NSF? Maybe one can answer that. And then, so Pretty has already shared, including some stuff there, email. Nombuso, I have old 5, and I want to use it now, course, and I'm not, but I'm qualified in the advertising, management, marketing, and media space. I hope Mkhize can offer no one-on-one guidance on how to do this right. So talk to her, please. Lindiwe, truly a legend for Jabu. I use his products, then my kids, soon my grandkids. Siyabonga for being consistent. There it is, Jabu. And greetings, Mr. Nombusa again. Jabu Stone is a legend. Ethnic hair is a huge industry. And Zimase, you spoke about that. Ikamva, I think it has been answered. How can we get learnership or internship for spaza shop owners? We are going to offer another session for our spaza shop owners. Remember, last time we had somebody from Gauteng. I'll bring him again. Such good presentations and very informative. Thank you to the presenters. Thank you, Bongani. Ndomiso Ngobo, thank you for the informative session. And game changer, please, can we get our Afro hair care industry regulated and enforced? Do you want to answer to that, Rajabu?
Yeah, sure. The industry is not regulated, and that is, I think 30 years ago when I started, we had a problem of that. And hence we are fighting now. We're working with the young ones. So that industry needs to be regulated badly, because that anybody enter into that space, we want people to go in there that are qualified as well. So it's key, so I know that there's quite a number of young people that are kind of fighting for that space to be regulated. I think on my side, I know in East London, there's a group of young people that are working on that in Bloemfontein. I'm not too sure in Durban. I haven't seen some, but I'll make a follow-up. But I know that young people are very, very concerned about the industry being regulated. But I think that is getting there shortly.
That is a very good one. Thank you so much. Any other questions, colleagues, comments? This is your session with our 2 colleagues who have been presenting beautifully. If you are okay, maybe show me the thumbs up so that at least we know you are here. And I know we've got almost 90 of us here. Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you fine? Right? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. At least it helps to see that someone is not sleeping. Wow. Thank you so much, colleague. I really, really think it's been a very fantastic session. Maybe let me start with Pretty. Just to say something, Pretty, on your end. before I make announcements, because the announcements to be made right now, as your closing remarks, and then Mr. Nyagu go to jump. Pretty?
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Klaba, and thank you so much to Uputi Chaba, our previous speaker. Yeah, no, I would like to say everyone who have a passion for education, everyone who would like to be part of this industry, and you need assistance with accreditation, you can reach out to me. We can see what can be done. But I strongly advise that a lot of us get into this space. As we know, I mean, the ants. A lot of accredited institutions. I'm sure we're all tired of these bogus colleges where our relatives studied the whole year and at the end of the year they don't get qualifications. Let us be the game changers. And yeah, basically that's all from me.
Wow, thank you so much, Pretty. Truly appreciate you, my sis. You know what? I was just talking to somebody about when men course started. I was one of the students doing masters there some years ago. And one thing that's very interesting is having to see Mencosa grow into being a university that it is today. And I would like us to see many of our universities, Black-owned universities, well-run, accredited, and compliant through and through. So that's why we are saying we're going to have a masterclass session, which is going to look at how do we really do that. And Pretty, you are going to be one of those persons who must really guide us and help us during that masterclass session, because we want, I'm one person, you are going to see my college and my institution running because of the help of Upriti. I'm not going to announce what its name, but I'm already training, but I'm very interested in this space. And that's why we are going to have this masterclass session. Please do come. For people who want to do hotels, we are going to get into under one roof, discuss how do you start our own hotel. We're tired of sleeping in hotels that are not necessarily run by us. And yet we only do one thing only, which is to consume. We need to be able to run those hotels and the chain of them. Start a chain of the hotels, chain of lodges, and all sorts of things. And as well as everything else that Upriti has mentioned here, really, we're going to put it all together. But if you want to get registered, she is your kind of girl. Get in touch with her. Brajabu, your parting shot. Yeah, okay. Yes, Pretty, go ahead.
One more thing, and as I've mentioned, that I work for QCTO as a SME, basically auditor, assisting with these accreditations. Can I tell you guys that I'm not trying to be xenophobic or anything like that, but 90% of the training providers are, our Eastern and Western brothers and sisters, basically foreigners. So I would like to also encourage our South Africans to get into this space, because also a lot of them have left. The one guy who owns the LMIS, the systems, learner management system, was just saying that a couple of them have left. So I'm not trying to be xenophobic. Basically, there is space now, even before they left, the industry was not saturated. But now there's even more opportunities, so there's vacancy basically. Thank you, I'm done.
Thank you so much, Pretty. Truly appreciate that information. Very important, colleagues, right? Prajabu, your parting shot?
Yeah, okay, thank you very much, Babutaba. What I would like to say, Seven's are very close, no Babutaba. If people need more information, they must just come straight to Babutaba. Those learnership, and I think in the future, I would also like to add on e-manufacturing, because the manufacturing space is something that abantu bakithi bayibonela ikude kakhulu far from them. So those are the things that I would like also to bring to the table. Those who want to get into that manufacturing space, manufacturing your butter, your jam, your peanut butter, body lotion, anything. So that's where maybe we can start advising the do's and don'ts of that one. But as I mentioned, working very close, Nobab Amandla Mnoto, please keep in touch. They will let me know when to come and what information is needed. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, Mondisa. One thing I can say about Prajabu, this week we're going to meet before we go to Eswatini to just thresh out as to how we're going to do this, and then how we're going to be proceeding from all of this presentation. Already we're talking with Prajabu. There's a roadmap clearly out there. And please make sure that you keep in touch. Unhlaka my son here, has shared a link for people who are interested in registering for all of these things that we are talking about. Just check that link. I think it's Takanipo, just tell us what that link is and how are people going to be registering? What does it have? Just quickly. I don't know if Takanipo is there, but colleagues, you can see on the chat box for those that want in number ga Mrs. Mkhize, it's all there, including the email address. But for the issue Jabu, we are going to be just contact me. But there is a what you call as you can see on the chat box once again, we have shared a link so that you can go there, click, register yourself in terms of what it's a form. Actually, it's a jotform.com like there. It's for you to register your name, your surname, your area of interest as it pertains to today's presentation. That's what this link is about. Please make sure that you fill it up. So, announcements. Colleagues, please use ruralchamber.africa/membership to join our membership and become a member of Rural Chamber. We are going to start there. I need to just check the form because it says it's full. I don't understand what that means. But in any case, if there's any issues with the form, we're going to share the form on all our WhatsApp groups because you are all there. You'll be able to see it. So join, please. This is very important. www.ruralchamber.africa/membership so that you are part of the programs that you are busy with. You either pay and become a paid member or just join and become a member. I've seen lots of people joining in. Maybe Mr. Kolko, you would like to tell us how many people have joined if you've got the numbers. And colleagues, we are going to start with those people who have joined in terms of many of the programs that we are bringing, because we want to monitor our work and how we are doing in terms of impact. This is very important. From the conference that we've had, we've got funders who are coming on board and streaming on board to be wanting to fund you. And if you are found to be not organized, unfortunately, we can't help and we don't know who you are. I've said it here that we've got over 10,000 people on our 40 WhatsApp groups, but people are not showing themselves, and we cannot be able to help you if you can't show yourself and just do one small thing of registering and become a member. Please contribute financially, as we've said last time. And for people that want to join, or rather to go view our previous discussions, they are all there on our Amanda Omnoto TV on YouTube. It's for free. Just subscribe there and say subscribe so that you can go and see what is new, what's coming, and be able to really go and rehearse and review and listen properly. Even if you may have missed today's session, share it with others. That's very important. Don't be selfish with information. We all need it. And make sure that you share it with your relatives, your friends. Get your kids to be part of this entrepreneurship journey at Amanda Omnoto. So this is very important, colleagues. So thank you so much for coming through tonight. It's been wonderful to have you. I see someone is saying the form is full. Tanipo, please check that. Like I said, if you've got problems, we're gonna make sure that we do this and share that with you. It's been wonderful. Thank you so much, colleagues. May you all have a good week ahead. Good evening.